We're going to be getting ready in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. The slight change in order, the cursive writer will be followed by Owen Dunkel, and then we'll have the person who was following the cursive writer follow Owen Dunkel instead. Minor errors there.
And how do we turn it on?
Oh, I already did it because I wanted to get started. I didn't want to disturb anybody. I'd like to sing my favorite old Irish song. When Irish eyes are smiling, oh, look out for the fist below. It's a true story. And you take them right out, you know, just a little gut shot, and then they're done. Then you take the wallet and you run. And all right, cursive writer. Yeah, shut them up. We got to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Cursive writer coming on up here. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, when you shut up, I'll come up.
Come up.
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, everybody.
All right, just remember this, just because you steal something doesn't mean you own it. This is still Indian country, and you do live on Ohlone land. Welcome to the season of the fool, the jester, the harlequin, and the poets. USA and death. USA, just another empire that believes in genocide, always justifies the means. Catholics taught these later empires how to do it. Catholic Christians murder, enslave, genocide, bringing sin, softening them up for empires, easier to manipulate, beaten down humans. Killing when their sky god told them vengeance is mine, telling gay people they're sick, going to hell, fire, brimstone. This is very odd. If a person is gay, didn't your God make him that way and in his own image? Maybe you should adhere to that. Shut your mouth before your venom spews over humanity, while your God comes down hard on you, breaking covenants like you did with trees. What's this about pedophilia? Anyone here believe in other ways other than missionary style goes to hell. So how does pedophilia fit into your God plans? Now really you're going to preach to us about sin? Lord Buckley said, it's a big pool. You groove your way, I'll groove mine. Different now since we balled ourselves into oblivion. Lots of people, disease, real estate, auto devices, vices, death, throwaway workers, burning down rainforest, resources for all, lots and lots and lots of paper that is supposed to represent of lots and lots and lots of stolen lives, profits. Welcome to the real estate state, welcome to the real terrorist state. You've manipulated language so that anything you think or say will be held against you. This empire never wants anyone to say what Jefferson said. May have to overthrow your government every 20 years, but of course, doubt he was talking about us, the great unwashed. But the ruling class, for most Usan citizens, too much work. Us has been working them to death. No revolution here. Some keep themselves ignorant intentionally, because education for some a curse. Better to believe the lies of Usan citizens. In some places, we're called dumbasses.
In some places.
Centered catered centered. We'll lose our ability to walk with all the technology we have. Everything catered to our every need. Why come out except when bus picks you up and brings you back? You can be wheeled to jobs, reduced to only a facsimile for brains, conditioned only for needs of empire. Privileged white boy points cell phones where looked at asking, "What are you doing?" He asks and says, "What?" Yeah, fuck you, white boy. Point that camera phone away. You think you have a right to take any pictures you like to anyone you choose without asking. Yeah, fuck you, white boys, and any other who thinks like you. Or has saying fuck you become an attack worthy of questioning prosecution. No longer politically correct to vent how you feel. Krishna will take care of this. So will Jehovah, Trinity gods, Allah, and any of the tin-horn saviors they will throw at you to pacify, to get you yours in heaven's lie. You can get laid on the internet. No need to look chaste in anticipation. I want beauty, and all I see is self-centeredness. We live in an empire that celebrates that. Remember, the center does not hold. Yeah, let's have mirrors absorbed in watching ourselves. Put it on the internet, not much stigma anymore. Believe in none of you. How can you love murderers? People who cage children because you can, pay it no mind. Just another news day in the empire. Where's outrage? Too busy buying on Amazon for all your Homo sapien needs. Suckle my children at the teat of Amazon, fresh Amazon milk. This is our legacy. This is what it comes to. Almost finished. Won't everybody be surprised? All but most indigenous who've been watching, studying, knows you better, knows you who beastly Usan citizens are. Lightning strikes, thunder claps back. There'll be long storms as glacier breaks from mountains, lands fall into oceans, waters, lake takes land, back food cycles disrupted, may never come back. Listen, you may hear the cry of species dying, leaving the mother who now kisses them goodbye.
Owen Dunkel, and then who's next?
After Owen is Mitch.
Mitch. Okay. Everyone, a nice welcome, please. Thank you.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Poema. The day after I turned 75. Yes, it is good to be alive. There are days ahead. I paddle in my mind. Sigh, a whisper, a note here. Now and then there is here, and scrape in the here and now. It was yesterday, a grand ball. It is tomorrow. A poem is like a race. It begins with rhyme, then breaks for the pole of free verse. You are free, Whitman. Rejoice in your words. Birthday. Today is, I turned 75. Arrive at the crest.
75 years young.
Yeah, the Waldorf, connive. It is though I am in New York. Time of play, and of work, and a penance of the way I took to be spirit. Say what I mean and how I want to mean it. See myself as others see me, and not as I see myself, and I might go absolutely mad. I fight people's opinions as though it were a swarm of flies. They say no truth. I tell no lies. Halloween poem. Halloween is two days ahead. Trick or treat. I feel no dread of people, children, and adults dressed to kill. A pumpkin is blessed, a gap-toothed jack-o'-lantern glowing against the full moon. Flowing karma almost like a Van Gogh painting. A starry night. Row ahead, you intrepid yuppies. But I ask, where is the shore? Our overweight coxswain Donald Trump lays low and hopes for the best. Stroke. The witching hour is far and near. Prose is like an albatross, a goony bird. It begins awkwardly on the ground, but once in the air it takes off and soars gracefully above us. To Don Brennan, your metaphors are a lonely outpost that I pray to in silence, like the aloneness of love. I am the alone quality of your poetry, as your metaphors are those of the earth. Poem. I hold my pen in an observation of the nothing and something of everyday elegance. Sleep. Sleep came like a cameo. The rain has vanished with sleep and a metaphor. Sleep came softly and bleached like a sheep. The night moves slowly like a new neon lord. Calm the afternoon branches of fade and gloom. I write in a room that murmurs like a womb. My mind is like a tomb. No lines came, no metaphors came, in slipper green. Said, the morning gone to a cement-like sky, all metaphors have vanished to the rainy sky of a rainy afternoon, winter afternoon. Gone. The day curls up into a ball and does what it was meant to do, not what it was not meant to be. After the rain, the music, the muse of the rain makes me sigh. A mystery of the rainwater. Life is a mystery of rain and flowers. The mystery of metaphor of ah me, ah me.
Thank you, Mr. Owen.
Thank you very much.
Owen Dunkel, well regarded and known in the Bay Area. Every open mic that I go to, he's there. Thank you.
Dips and then MOS.
Possible is to use my mic or not? If not, it's okay.
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh.
You could see if it works.
Yeah, if you could just turn down the. Oh, if it's.
Oh, it is.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
not.
never
It's
mind.
not a radio thing. Is that like a cordless mic?
No. I just before I'm allowed to pull it out, it's just supposed to be muted. It's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
Because then it makes a loud pop.
Oh. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
Give
a round of applause. The earrings for the door prize. And a well-regarded poet.
Oh yeah.
See if you got
Earrings for door prize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Made by her. She didn't go and get it.
Yeah. I make earrings. It's a fun, stress relieving, creative activity.
Yes.
Very fun. I was thinking about the word slip, and so I grew up in a public housing community right by where Candlestick Park used to be before they demolished it, called Double Rock, and they rebuilt it as part of the Hope SF, all that federal government getting out of housing. And so they're tearing it down. And so I was thinking about the word slip. I was thinking about that. Double Rock, the neighborhood I grew up in before they moved everybody to these like apartment buildings, had front yards and backyards. And you had, the backyards would have like cement, and then they'd have like dirt and grass and stuff. And so we had this cement incline behind our house, huge. It was really huge. We used to rollerblade and skateboard and bike ride. So I used to rollerblade down this little incline, and after the incline you'd have all the grass and the dirt and the pine cones and trees. And I'm rollerblading, and I get to the bottom of the incline and I don't turn, and so I slip and I fall over the curb and I fall down this hill, and I fall on a broken sprinkler and on my kneecap. Yeah, I know. But I've survived. I'm here to talk about it. So this story is great. It has a happy ending. Well, so two things about this. So one, I always say this, San Francisco was the best place to grow up if you were poor. Poor kid, it was the best place to be poor. I mean, I don't know if I only lived here, so I don't know if there are other cool places to be poor, but I always thought San Francisco was a cool place to be a poor kid. So, we were poor, and that meant that one, we took the bus, and two, my mom didn't buy disposable diapers. She always had cloth diapers. And I was one of 8, so there were always babies in the house. And so what that meant is I slip over this curb and I cut up my knee, and we have to go to General Hospital, and we don't have a car. So we had to take 2 buses. I'm bleeding profusely from my kneecap, which is all cut up from this bloody sprinkler. I have to take the 2 buses. We have to take the 29 to the 9. And on top of that is because we only had these cloth diapers. We had like a whole bunch of cloth diapers in our hands. And I'm just constantly holding a cloth diaper to my knee, which is profusely bleeding on the bus. So I get my stitches. You know, everything's good. But I don't know if has anyone else ever got stitches in their kneecap? Okay, so you know, right? What's the hardest thing about getting stitches in your kneecap?
I don't like anything like that.
Okay, it sounds terrible, but the hardest part, I think, about it is that you can't bend your knee for like 10 days.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 10 days. I was a kid then, I don't remember.
They told me to not move.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
You
Just
can't
sit there.
bend your knee.
Yeah.
How do you not bend your knee? And this was in the summer. So I was in summer school, and right around the corner from here, and I couldn't bend my knee, so they gave me these 2 bits of plaster to like put and stable and then wrap the ace bandage around it every day. And so I would sit in summer school and I had to keep my knee perfectly straight.
10 years old.
I was an active kid. I was an active
Can't do
kid.
anything
You
fun.
can't do anything for like 10 whole days.
And it's the summer.
And it's the summer. And so you have to sit inside. They gave me a special stool so that I could sit on the stool and my knee would be straight.
Oh, how much fun that is.
I just had to sit with my knee. I don't know, that just, the word made me think of that. But yeah, thank you. They call me Mitch.
I love your story. Who's next?
MOS, and then after him, Alex.
Mose and then
Alex.
Alex.
Man, we're
Mose?
ripping tonight. Thank you. Oh, I love how you do that. Right in the mouth.
That's it.
All right. I'm MOS, also known as Mose. Just call me Mose. If you want to know what MOS means, please ask me. I've been doing this for 5 months. Not one person has asked me what is it. Oh, I mean privately.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You're giving us a prompt there. Come on.
An ordinary day of a poet. Insomnia, 4:37 a.m. Lou Reed, T-Bone Burnett, John Mayall. Sleep, dream about sleeping. Wake up, grateful. 8:47 a.m. Debtor's call, laughter, fuck credit card companies. Piss, music, Dylan, REM, Tupac, Muddy Waters, piss, check email, yep, world is fucked up, eat cereal, hold the sugar, check social media, yep, nothing new here, FUBAR, shower, daydream, laughter, masturbate, not, dress, trash, walk, library, 3 hours, open text, reply, free coffee, photography, Charlie, street artist, donate, Powell, cable car, turnaround, social media, fuck Trump, conversation, observation, memories, photography, street, donate, Lincoln, bus, they hate, People's Republic of Coffee, 2:03 p.m., home, music, dinner, 6:56 p.m., rice, water, piss, open text, reply, observations, memories, write, emotional, bus, Cafe International, write, bus, home, music, social media, fuck Trump, fuck Pelosi,
Where's
music,
Malcolm?
Dylan, Miles, 9:55 p.m. Open text, reply, late snack, crackers, tuna, Dale spaghetti, toilet, dump, bus, mad dog in the fog, NFL review, bartender, flirt, phone number, tripping, fantasizing, free beer, piss, memories, walk, observation, bus, home, social media, fuck Trump, Leonard Cohen, bed, 1:12 a.m., right, emotional, 3:07 a.m., insomnia. Texting is not normal. What is sleep? Shut the fuck up. Say goodnight, Gracie. Goodnight, Gracie. Repeat.
Thank you. Come on. Alex D. Provide the individual coming up with a random applause, please.
So I did a writing prompt, titles of books by an author. It's called Title Track Jack. The town and the city bleed and ooze blinking bulbs, yellow and red lights of industry. Rusty iron rebar, gray cracked concrete knots, twist, tie, twist, tongue. A rat trap, gridlocks now. On the road, life's meandering maze of meaningless melodrama keeps hoopin', loopin', scootin' through time. On stretched out scrolls, scrawled Sanskrit scriptures of golden eternity weaves out and in, off and on, from simple suburbs to subterranean swamps. Impermanent apricot daystar burns like trash can fires, over and over again. Trapped in eastern chariots of Kia, Hyundai, Toy Honda, lonesome trippin' travelers have visions of Gerard, visions of Cody, visions guided by Peruvian shamans, shapeshifters of mind. Orpheus emerged a Zen lunatic, bumble buzzin' fool. From broken Buddha's halo, a concession of light. Communion is Christ's flesh. This is his blood. Did drink drunk in remembrance of him. Holy golden grail spills some of the Dharma, splish. Scattered poems splash, and heaven streams down the gutter's guttural gurgling grate. Forever lost between sad San Francisco streets, flowing in human excrement, a piece of soul, a piece of shit. Pull my Daisy and call me Cassidy, a good blonde, blue-eyed beauty with red lips and curvy hips. Maggie is just another name, just another signature in this book of dreams. In this book of dreams, horns blast breaks the wakeful state of now. Desolation angels sing on high, holy, holy, holy. Black ribbons of highway click, clack, and ring from page to page atop an underwood. Entrust us, the vanity of Delois bleed an opal open country road, once hand-stitched together by German women in pictorial review. A pattern of bluesy blues, Big Sur blues, Mexico City blues, haiku blues, San Francisco blues. Dr. Sachs plays the jazz-laden blues. Satori and bebop, Satori in Paris, Satori in traffic, Satori in now. Forever the sea of the city is our brother, sister, mother, father, and friend in this haunted life of now.
Yo, Alex D!
Yeah.
Magnificent Garrett Murphy, I like to say. It should be okay.
Okay. Okay.
A couple of requests on way, more or less a Halloween theme. Halloween Blues. Coming in as the power broker, showing up as domestic or soldier, arriving at the delivery person via mail, milk, or plumbing, whatever. A doctor, lawyer, or officer, even in the NATO suit and tie and cap and gown, they think it's a necessary part of living. Not to worry, you only have to wear it 364 days a year. A jewel for a punch. This is Hugh Briss of the Medley News. We have breaking news tonight. Breaking news, authorities have reported that after a year-long manhunt, they have finally apprehended the serial murderer of Mr. Punch due to eerie similarities between the actions of that character and those of the Punch character in the centuries-old puppet show Punch and Judy. There are, however, a few differences noted by witnesses, the most notable of which that instead of the wrist stick known as a slapstick, this Punch doppelganger uses a flagpole, complete with Old Glory herself, the kind with an eagle on top with which he impales his victims, all of whom also bear a striking resemblance to various other characters in that show. Even in some cases, those long thought out of fashion, all that is except the first whom authorities have been at a loss to identify, though curiously, there appear to be two Judys among the victims. Our roving reporter Camden Smarmy is live right now with the SWAT and Homeland Security team who are proudly displaying the heavily shackled or sassed Mr. Punch. Camden, yes, here we are right here with members of SWAT and Homeland Security bringing out the heavily shackled Punch impersonator so we can get a statement from him. Now, you imposter. Hold it, Camden, we have a bulletin coming in. Authorities have finally identified the bogus Punch's first victim. He happens to be the original Mr. Punch. That is a shocker, Hugh, but then who is this? Wait, they're just taking off the mask. No, it's Donald Trump! But, of course it's me. Who else could have taken out that grinning, ugly, un-American foreign twerp with the hook-nosed, silly hat and scrawny pogo stick but me? Now, if you'll excuse me, watch out, he's somehow broken free of his bonds and he's gotten hold of his flagpole. I'm going to show you all the way to really do it. Camden? SWAT team? Homeland Security? We just lost a signal. Dear viewers, I promise we'll keep trying to get back to Camden, if at all possible. Wait, this coming in, they're identifying the rest of the victims. The first Judy has been identified as Rosie O'Donnell. The baby was Marco Rubio. The constable was Bryce Priebus, chair of the Republican Party. The crocodile is Chris Christie. Pretty Polly was Carly Fiorina. Joey the clown was Rand Paul. Toby the dog was Bobby Jindal. The lawyer is Lindsey Graham. The ghost was Rick Santorum. The second Judy has been identified as Megan Kelly. Mr. Scaramouche was Jeff Bush. Jim Crow the black man was Ben Carson. The doctor was John Kasich. The skeleton was George Pataki. Jack Ketchum Hangman was Mike Huckabee. And the devil was Ted Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hugh Briss, warning all to remain wary at all times, for it appears there is a new Mr. Punch on the loose. If we do somehow hear from Camden Smarmy or the SWAT team or Homeland Security, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, watch out, please.
Robert Medino, he is our first mini of the evening, and we have a pair of traveling poets who will also give us a mini. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Wannabe handyman takes a long, hard look in the mirror. Handyman, kind of man you wish you were but weren't. Never were, never will be, never ever heard the call. Whether workaday pro or a weekend warrior, admiration mixes with envy as naturally as hammer and nail for a man who builds swing sets and jungle gyms for grandkids, lickety split. Man who plugs leaks, tunes engines, remodels bathrooms, kitchens. Man who never met do-it-yourself project he doesn't fall in love with. Good man, honest man, reliable, hardworking, kind-hearted, bedrock blue collar. Humble but proud to show before and after images, evidence of his vision and skills to turn useless, ugly rubble wreckage or what was once a big fat nothing into something fixed up, spruced up, needed, wanted, useful, maybe even beautiful. Handyman, which isn't to exclude women, no ma'am. You've known many women every bit as handy as the handiest of men, including 2 exes who could build backyard fences and treetop owl houses solo and feel as at home in Home Depot as you would feel orphaned. Exes who could decipher repair manuals with the skills of UN translators, while you shuddered with shameful, impotent illiteracy, lucky to know how to light a pilot or find the main water valve. But you're a man, damn it. You grew up in an age when men were men, expected to be handymen, not poets. Although theoretically, the two aren't mutually exclusive. But let's face it, back in the day, men who did both weren't men. They were gods. Either that or fairy godfathers. It's not that you're still haunted and daunted by that rusty ethos at the ripe old age of 71, and it's not that one's handyman IQ renders gender ID, but you kind of are, and it sort of does. Handyman, you admire, envy each and every man who so naturally, patiently tinkers endlessly until the thing's just right. A man who inspects, respects tools, knows tools expertly, intimately. Like singers know notes, like techies know codes, like poets know language, like lovers know each other's bodies. But you're not one of those men. You're not handy, man. Never were, never will be, never got the call. Nixon's the one. You smoked the dope of horoscope. You've got the same birthday as Richard Milhouse Nixon. An unshaven fact that's 5 o'clock shadowed your whole life. A life that's not been without its own Nixonian I am not a crook staples and razor-resistant stubble. Lies, insecurities, jealousies, paranoias, cover-ups, list of enemies, checkered speech, naked ambition, even its own tricky dick. Playing dodgeball without a ball. Were you in San Francisco for the Summer of Love in 1967? Or in Vietnam in 68? Did you protest the war? Flee to Canada? Sweden? No. Those years, you pulled clerk typist duty while on safe and sleepy stateside Air Force bases in Mississippi, South Carolina, and Wyoming. Never fired a weapon. More importantly, a weapon was never fired at you. Never even carried a weapon. Thank you very much. What about 1969? Were you at Woodstock? In Vietnam, finally? Did you at least watch Neil Armstrong take one giant leap for mankind? No, no, and no. Still in the Air Force, still a clerk typist in '69, stationed in Greenland, remote and isolated. No live TV there, where you mostly played racquetball and consumed acid and hashish and read Playboy. That's right, no joke, you read Playboy. Were you in Berkeley for the birth of the free speech movement? Nah, got there as a late blooming wannabe hippie in '72. Still a happening, mellow, cannabis-friendly, free love place, just not the revolution is happening now place it had been. Although, you were living down the street from where the SLA kidnapped Patty Hearst. You'd seen her once in Moe's books, poetry section. The last one, it's called Do-Overs, and so what if it's 50 or 60 years later? This time, making father-pleasing, game-winning catch and throw instead of cringe-inducing, game-losing error on the littered Little League sandlot within earshot of LaGuardia's ear-splitting jets arriving, jets departing. This time, hitting nothing but net, swish, instead of shooting mine of its own air ball at junior varsity tryout in Jock's Socks Sweat Smell Gymnasium. This time, emoting lines like Laurence Olivier instead of stuttering, stammering in school play plagued by tongue-tied stage fright. This time, standing up to the playground bully instead of bowing head, backing down, peered at, pitied, like lab slab specimen by the whole world it seemed, including kid brother who'd idolized you, including first ever girlfriend who soon became first ever ex-girlfriend. Oh yeah, this time things will be different.
All right. Our video of the evening.
Stephanie and Carla.
So, who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay, all right. And this is?
Carla.
Carla's going first, and then a traveling poet, and then Stephanie will follow also. A traveling poet by special arrangement of themselves, myself, yourself, themselves, my neighbor, your best friends. And I'm going to keep on going on until the mic's ready because I don't like dead air. Yeah, give her a nice round. This is our first time here.
Okay, you're great. So, somewhere, oh, there it is. I'm here from Bellingham, Washington, which is up north.
Oh, that's north, isn't it?
North. And Bellingham is known as the locals as the city of subdued excitement. So you can take that for what it's worth. You are all invited, everyone who read and those who have not yet, to Bellingham, to the Chuckanut Sandstone Writers Theater, which is an open mic for people who write. And I happen to be the MC founder. So you're all welcome. Just look us up and come.
We'll get information from it and I'll send it out.
Thank you. So the first poem has to do with the pod, is the title. And the pod of orca whales who live from Alaska down into California, or at least play around in your waters. Their homeland is the Puget Sound, also known as the Salish Sea, as we learn to become more aware of where we are. The pod. Dorsal fins up for stability, sign of freedom in limpid waters, family intact, tender connections, belonging, expansive as oceans to family and clan, messages deep, miles long, will thrive or fail in warming sea. It didn't when I came in, but it seems to have the word slip in it somewhere, I don't know. You may hear it. River witness. First eyes upon the Nooksack stream before its naming. Children came to pristine waters beneath limber saplings, alder, fir, and cedar, marking beginnings. Second eyes gathered berries along uncertain boundaries, swimming in side streams, stretching out into estuaries, a passage of reaching. Third eyes traveled along 3 crooked ribs, joined to a wide water spine shaped by uneven mood seasons of quiet murmur or flooding torrent. Fourth eyes searched earth, tilled and dike, holding river in place, curtailed past houses, barns, forming persistence of water, making its passage, carving land in a pattern. Fifth eyes, unshaded, in clearings and newly logged hillsides, river voice silenced by the saw blade, engine, and trucks across bridges. It's beginning to sound familiar, right? Mm-hmm. Sixth eyes clouded with secrets creeping as poisons to steal through factories and fields, mix in earth fluids and continue the flow. Seventh eyes yet to open on riverbed waters, etching all futures and quenching new thirst. Thank you. I may not have time to read the word slip in it. This is called fracking. I am rearranged, my skin torn and sutured, my breasts rerouted for passage of heavy trucks, my stones the weight of years, torn up and laid for drainage, ruptured by a steel pin thrust into my bones, surrounded by cement, down past an aquifer. I cradle quiet, dark pools of amniotic waters, collected for generations. Here I imagine roots, stems, and flowers, dream, roots, trunks, and leaves, grasses green and golden, to sprout and undulate, in conversation with the wind. I receive steel casings, my metals melted and alloyed, shoved into place, the pin, and I am torn. A web of pipes driven across my deepest organs where my breath shortens. I gasp with pain. And then the perforated gun punctures my placenta. It tears and splits. Water and sand, my elements, forced into me. My fractures filled, so oil flows. There's more. The shuddering of my bowels as my black viscous blood is sucked up to the air. Gases released from my soul, and I am empty. I am penetrated, assaulted. I tremble at this rupture and convulse.
Thank you very much. Beautiful.